Hi guys, Blake from footballboost.co.uk, and with the release of the Puma EvoSpeed SL 17, we're ranking the 10 lightest boots of all time. Note that the sizes of the boot vary from size to size, so we're grouping generations and ranges together, and we're only including Pro and Elite models. Although it's not a large concern nowadays, a decade ago big name brands such as Puma and Adidas were in battle to create the lightest boots ever, creating several super lightweight incarnations that we'll go through today. At 10 is Nike's environmental friendly Greenspeed 1 and 2 generations. Both the first and second generations weigh in at a mere 160 grams or 5.6 ounces, making it Nike's lightest ever football boot of all time. The Nike Greenspeed was originally launched back in July 2012, and it combined performance engineering with low environmental impact. The boot was constructed with renewable and recycled materials, featuring a bio-based traction plate and Kangalite synthetic upper from Ultimate Speed and Traction. The second generation was launched 2 years later in November 2014, and it featured the same weight and virtually the same technologies. The only difference was ACC or All Conditions Control technology used, and it used a white on the forefoot rather than Volt yellow stand on the first gen. Neymar was the key Nike professional to headline the two Greenspeed generations, along with Goetze, Walcott, Eriksson, Sterling and Hazard. Comfort wise, these boots weren't the best. Walcott wore the boots for a match and at halftime switched back to the Vapors because the boots were just too uncomfortable to wear. At 9, Puma dropped in with the EvoSpeed SL generation, which we were lucky to get our hands on. The boots tipped the scales at 153 grams or 5.4 ounces, which at the time were the lightest boots on the market. One of the first things you will notice about this boot is the perforations on the upper, making it essentially a perfect boot for dry summer days. The boot was launched in two colorways, the original Jasmine Green edition, which matched the standard Jasmine Green EvoSpeed headline by the likes of Aguero and Falcao, and the red Ocean White edition, which again matched the standard EvoSpeed release. The boot used a Japanese microfiber, which is very thin but also very stiff. Similar to the comfort of the Greenspeed, this boot had one of the stiffest sole plates and uppers that we have seen on an EvoSpeed. In addition, Puma teamed up with motorbike maker Ducati to create the EvoSpeed 1 SL Ducati, which was the same weight as the SL but had a much more comfortable upper. At 8 is Puma's V1.10 SL, weighing in at just 150 grams or 5.3 ounces. 3 grams difference from the EvoSpeed 1 SL boots. The V1.10 SL was launched back in June 2010 and was one of the lightest boots Puma had ever launched at the time. The boots opted for a super thin synthetic microfiber upper which had a glossy look to it and was debuted in a classy white and blue colorway. A carbon fiber outsole insert, also seen on its predecessors, the EvoSpeed 1 SL, was used while a mesh tongue constructed enabled breathability. Very similar to its predecessor, the V1.10 SL, we will also mention the V1.11 SL boots, which weighed in at 158 grams or 5.57 ounces, so 8 grams more than the V1.10 SL. The boot debuted in a fluid green colorway, in which the standard V1.11 was headlined by Aguero, who just recently switched to Puma boots at the time. You may also remember the V1.11 SL as having a nice blue-white line colorway as well. The boots opted for a super thin and lightweight synthetic upper which had dimples on the upper for added assistance when touching, controlling and dribbling with the ball. The same carbon fiber insert seen on the EvoSpeed 1 SL was used on this model. Overall a very lightweight synthetic boot, but again not the most comfortable. At 7 is Adidas's F50 Adizero 4, weighing at just 150 grams or 5.3 ounces, so the same weight as the V1.10 SL. Launched back in November 2013, this boot was one of the lightest F50 Adizeros of the now defunct range. Launched in two nice solar blue and solar zest colorways, these boots were part of the Samba pack in preparation for the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. The boots used a synthetic upper which used a single layer material for a barefoot touch on the ball, and a new speedfall system, which were the reason of why the boots were so lightweight. It was a transparent material in the ankle and heel region of the boot. DribbleTech's texture technology enhanced friction on the ball, while a sprint frame chassis was used with an all-new speed traction stud system for added agility and acceleration. Memorable colorways include the Messi edition, the Battle Pack World Cup edition and the Samba Solar Slime editions. At 6 is one of the most recent boots in this list, the EvoSpeed SLS. We're considering the 3 most recent ranges, including the SLS, the SLS2 and the SLS 17. All of which weigh in at 148 grams or 5.2 ounces. Launched as the more affordable and durable boots to the much lighter EvoSpeed SL boots, these have recently been worn by professionals such as Griezmann, Royce and Aguero. First launched in December 2015, 7 months after the original EvoSpeed SL was dropped, the boot was marketed by Puma to last longer than 10 games and featured a much more durable synthetic microfiber upper. All 3 generations use slightly different uppers, but they all come in at the same weight of 148 grams. The most recent generation looks very similar to the current EvoSpeed SL17 boots, but use a modified upper, whereas the sole plate is the exact same design seen on the previous 2 generations. Down to the business end of the list, we're now talking about super lightweight boots. At 5 we see Adidas's F50 Adizero Prime take its place at a whopping 145 grams or 5.1 ounces. Released in 2011, at the time the boots were one of the lightest boots on the market. Inspired by the standard and original F50 Adizero range, which was 20 grams heavier, the boot used an Adi-Light twin single layer synthetic upper, which at the time could be considered to be one of the thinnest upper materials ever. A super lightweight sprint frame construction further lightens the boot's weight. The most standout design probably was the Warning Orange edition, while other memorable designs could have been the Purple Infrared and Electricity editions. At 4 are the only boots to use leather materials, introducing the EvoSpeed SL 1, 2 and 17 leather editions. Ranging from 140 to 143 grams or 4.94 ounces, these are the lightest leather boots of all time. Using K-leather on the touchstones of the boot, these ranges by far beat any leather range in terms of weight. If you've been a fan of Puma's EvoSpeed ranges but wanted a better touch on the ball, then the EvoSpeed SL leather editions would be the way to go. Originally launched back in June 2015, the boots use the same super thin and lightweight sole plate that the SL version uses, but opts for a leather vamp with stitching lines spanning across the entire boot. A lightweight boot with a traditional touch, perfect. At 3 is one of the most outrageous boots that have ever been launched, introducing the Adidas F50 Adizero Crazy Light, offering 2 versions. The original edition was launched back in March 2014 and was launched in a striking green and black arrowhead design, shocking the world both with its design and weight of just 135 grams or 4.76 ounces. Taken from the retail F50 Adizero 4, the boot used a super lightweight and thin synthetic microfiber upper, and the sole plate was the same as the retail Adizero 4 but reduced in places to lower the overall weight of the boots. A secondary colour was revealed in October 2014 as part of the Crazy Light pack. The boot again featured that arrowhead template but opted for green, blue, yellow and orange colours. Simply outrageous. At 2 is Puma's EvoSpeed SL ranges, including the SL 1, 2 and 17 models, which weigh in at 103, 107 and 120 grams, 103 grams or 3.63 ounces. The first ever EvoSpeed SL shocked the world as it was the lightest ever boot to be made into a retail version. Launched back in June 2015, the boots use a super thin and transparent textile upper with speed frame technology to structure the upper. A unique 3-heel stud system was used, while the chassis itself was super thin and lightweight, and it's still currently used on the EvoSpeed 17 SL generation. The EvoSpeed SL2 was a slightly different variation of the first gen, and the EvoSpeed SL17 is the heaviest model at 120 grams. The EvoSpeed 17 SL added 15 grams of weight and uses a reinforcement panel around the toes for extra durability. The worst thing about the EvoSpeed SL ranges is that Puma say that will only last 10 matches. Seems a bit crazy to me of why a boot of a £200 price tag will only last a quarter of a season. In addition, Puma launched the EvoSpeed Hedon, which weighed in at 105 grams, which again was a different variation of the original SL generation. As well as that, Puma dropped the EvoSpeed SL Fresh model, which again is another lightweight model, weighing in at 122 grams. And the lightest boot of all time is Adidas's Adizero boot, officially revealed in May 2013, and is the only boot in this list which weighs under 100 grams at just a mere 99 grams or 3.49 ounces. A second version was released in April 2015, setting a new benchmark for lightweight football boots, and another version dubbed the Adizero 16 was revealed in August 2016. Like the EvoSpeed SL boots, the boots opt for a super thin textile upper, while lightweight polyamide material makes up the sole plate and the speed traction stud system was used. The 16 version was limited to just 299 pairs worldwide, so consider yourselves lucky if you got your hands on a pair. Which has been your favourite lightweight boot? Please vote in our poll card now with your favourite. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.